Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. We're starting our Big 12 football predictions today with our first team, the Oklahoma Sooners. So last year, Oklahoma went 11-2 and won the Sugar Bowl over Auburn. They had a little kind of some drama off the field this season. Bob Stoops unexpectedly resigned or retired, whatever you want to call it. And now Lincoln Riley, the offensive coordinator, is now the head coach of the Sooners. He did inherit a very good team, though. He's got 16 returning starters, 9 on offense, and then 7 on defense, and they're obviously led by a Heisman frontrunner and Baker Mayfield at quarterback, so that's going to help them out a lot. I'm not really concerned with that. I'm shocked that Bob Stoops resigned or retired, again, whatever you want to call it, but I think Lincoln Riley's going to do a good job, and Oklahoma should still be considered a very top favorite in the Big 12 this season. So let's see how they're going to do. Opening up the season against UTEP, not a big deal. Should get an easy win there. Not really concerned about that. I think UTEP's going to have a very bad year this season. And that's not going to be much of a threat to Oklahoma. But that's going to be great for them to get Lincoln Riley's first game, kind of get a feel for things his first game as a head coach, getting an easy win. That should be good for them. And then at Ohio State, this is a team that Oklahoma lost to at home by 21 last season. Remember, Oklahoma started off horrible last year, going 1-2, losing to Houston and Ohio State, dropping out of the rankings. They started off number 3 in the country, dropped out of the rankings, ended up winning out after starting off 1-2. Then obviously won that Sugar Bowl over Auburn. But now they travel to Ohio State. We all know that's a very tough place to play. Very few teams can win there. Oklahoma. This is going to be a very tough test for Lincoln Riley as a brand new head coach. It's a very tough environment early on in the season. And right now, I'm going to predict another loss against Ohio State for Oklahoma. I know there could be a little revenge involved in this one. Ohio State went to Oklahoma once. No, Oklahoma should go to Ohio State and win. And as that is the case a lot, as we've seen that a lot recently in these Power 5 games, I really just don't see that happening right now. This early on. Oklahoma's a very talented team. That's going to be a fun one to watch between J.T. Barrett and Baker Mayfield. But right now, I'm giving the edge to the Buckeyes. But then Oklahoma gets a good break against two not easy teams. Tulane will be an easy win, no doubt. They've improved a little bit, but that'll be an easy win. And then at Baylor, a team that I think is going to have to be rebuild this season. Last year looked like a promising season, even after Art Briles was kicked out for all those stuff that went on at Baylor. They ended up only finishing with a 6-6 record. They did win their bowl game, but this season they bring in Matt Rule from Temple. I think he's going to have to rebuild this Baylor program. Don't think they're going to miss out on a bowl game, but I also don't see them being back where they were a couple years ago under Art Briles. And I think Oklahoma, despite it being on the road, will go on the road and defeat Baylor. Then they get a bye week at 3-1, still be nationally ranked. The AP polls did come out today. Oklahoma is ranked number 7, so they'll start the season 7th. If they keep that Ohio State game close, they will not drop that far in the rankings. It should be still in the top 10 going into their bye week. They get a home game against Iowa State, another team that's really struggled in the Big 12 recently. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Iowa State is known to pull off some upsets when they shouldn't, but that shouldn't be much of an issue for Oklahoma. And then Texas and the Red River rivalry, we're all excited to watch that one. Now they have Tom Herman at head coach Texas. And this game could be really close. I could consider this being a trap game here. Because I know Texas is going to be amped, and they're a very talented team, too. They do return a lot of starters as well. So two very young head coaches going at it, one of the biggest rivalries in college football. Right now, I'm going to give Oklahoma the edge. I'm going to give them the win over Texas. Do not be surprised if this game is close, though. This second half of the schedule, when they start playing Texas, where it's going to start getting tough, because then travel to Kansas State, another team that could be a major sleeper in the Big 12 this season. Bill Snyder's doing a great job there. They really hit their stride towards the end of last season, upset Texas A&M in that bowl game. Jesse Ertz, another good dual-threat quarterback. He's back at Kansas State, and it's on the road. So Oklahoma needs to watch out in this game at Kansas State. This could be a major upset. Right now, though, I'm going to give the edge to the Sooners. I do like this Kansas State team, though. I could see them being a sleeper pick to make the Big 12 championship. Now they're going to have that this year. But for right now, I'm going to give the edge to Oklahoma. And then Texas Tech, well, this could be a game with a lot of offense. We saw that last year. Last year was a lot of offense between Oklahoma narrowly escaped the Red Raiders in that one. This year, Oklahoma gets them at home, and I think when they played Texas Tech last year, that was shortly after their 1-2 start, so they were still trying to figure out who they were, trying to get things back on track. This year, that's obviously not going to be the case, and I think they'll get the win over the Red Raiders. And if Texas Tech doesn't get to a bowl game and probably exceed at least 7 wins, you could see the end of the Cliff Kingsbury era in Lubbock. We'll have to see. And then Oklahoma State, huge rivalry game there. This could determine who finishes first in the Big 12. Yes, they will have their Big 12 championship game, but Oklahoma State's a team I really like this season. They were playing this game a little earlier than usual. They usually play the last week of the season, but they're starting at the beginning of November. Oklahoma State returns a very explosive offense as well. They got James Washington at wide receiver and then Mason Rudolph at quarterback. And they're going to be a very, very dangerous team. Sports Illustrated actually has them picked to be the 4th team in the college football playoff this season. I'm not going that far yet, but I am going to give them the win over Oklahoma. It's on the road, and I really do have a lot of faith in this Oklahoma State team. I think they're going to be very, very dangerous this season, so we need to watch out for them. TCU, another team that can be very dangerous. They return tons of starters as well. Last year was a disappointment under Gary Patterson. They went 6-7, lost that Liberty Bowl to Georgia. This year it's at Oklahoma, though. TCU is still going to be a dangerous team, assuming everybody stays healthy. But right now I'm going to give the win to Oklahoma. At Kansas, another team that has struggled just like Iowa State in the Big 12, even though it's on the road, shouldn't be any issue for them. And Oklahoma still, on the outside looking in of the college football playoff, that Big 12 championship game could help them because their 2 losses are to 2 very good teams. It's only 1 conference loss, so they could still be on the outside looking in, but I doubt they'll be able to get in now with 2 losses, but we never know. We haven't seen a 2-loss team make it. We came close last year with Penn State. Maybe Oklahoma could be the first. And then West Virginia, the team they're going to end the season with, a team I'm very excited to watch this season. They do not return a lot of starters from last year. They're off a 10-win season, though, and they get Will Grier in at quarterback, transfer from Florida. I think he's going to do a very good job there. A lot of people don't, but I'm very excited to watch him play. But this game is at Oklahoma, and Oklahoma is still, like I said, could be possibly playing for a college football playoff berth if they can win the Big 12 championship. And right now, I'm going to give them the win over West Virginia. Work out. There you go. And that's going to end Oklahoma's season with a 10-2 record, which is exactly what they had last year before that Sugar Bowl victory. And that's not a very bad record at all. And like I said, if they can win that Big 12 championship game, which I think will help not just Oklahoma, but the conference in general, because they have yet to have a representative in the college football playoff, they could be on, like I said, they could be a dark horse with 2 losses to get in there because their 2 losses are against very good teams. But 10-2 is not a bad record at all for the first year of the Lincoln Riley era at Oklahoma. So keep a very good eye on the Sooners this season. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, and please continue to share our videos, and we'll see you next time on The Gridiron Expert.